there, I'm Hel, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Okay, so I'm going to do the AuthorTube newbie tag today. But before I get started, I just want to say that, just to be completely honest, I am really, really nervous about filming myself. It's really outside my comfort zone, but I'm going to try to do it because I really want to get involved with all the writers and the community here on YouTube. I really love watching videos of a lot of different people here, and it's really inspiring, so I'd really like to be part of that, and that's why I'm going to try and push myself. Also, this is my new wig. It is blue, and my best friend actually got me this last Christmas, but this is my first time wearing it, and I'm feeling pretty good about it, guys. I'm gotta admit, it kind of makes me feel like I'm in the X-Men, and since the goal of my life, since I was about 13 years old, was to be in the X-Men, this is kind of giving me the confidence to actually go ahead and film myself, so there we go. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to start reading and try to look at the actual camera instead of at myself, which is really distracting. Also, just want to say that this video is like really spontaneous. I don't even have a proper camera yet. I'm just using my phone, and I'm using the eternal facing camera because it was the only way that I could get it to like sit, and that's why my cover, as you can see, this is my book cover that my friend Sammy Clara actually designed for me. And I'm probably gonna like have a proper sort of showing it later, but my cover, my book Malady, and as you can see, it's backwards because it's the internal camera, which means I'm backwards, which is weird, but hopefully after Christmas I'm going to get a proper camera and actually take my channel a little bit more seriously, so you guys will only have to put up with the bad quality for a little while, hopefully. Okay, so right, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and answer some questions here, okay. So, the first question is, how did you find out about AuthorTube? Okay, well, I actually found out about AuthorTube from a really awesome writer here on YouTube called Lily Mead, and she is obviously one of the founders, I believe, and also the admin of one of the admins of the Facebook group. And I'm gonna put a link below to her in this video description. Yeah, so I heard Lily talking about it, and I just thought, wow, that's like a really amazing idea. And I'd actually been wondering why there was no, there's BookTube, and there's like, there's groups of like lots of different people on YouTube, so it's really great to have a group of writers, and I'm really hoping, like I've already said this, but I'm hoping to get involved in that community and really like to make some friends, because I do have friends in real life. My best friend is also a writer, and several of my other friends do write as well, but I've always been quite shy online. I'm always kind of second guessing what I'm saying, and just issues. I'll probably talk about this at some other point, and it's not really the point of this video, so. Okay, on to question 2, which is, what genres of fiction do you write in? And that's easy to answer. I am all about the spec fic. This is the same as like in the stuff that I like to watch and the stuff that I like to read myself. I'm very, very into science fiction and fantasy. For me, I've always felt that science fiction and fantasy provides more of an escape from the real world than contemporary fiction does. I've always kind of felt that I spend enough time living in this world that when I want to read or when I want to watch something, I want something different, something that doesn't exist, something supernatural. So for me, that is always going to be my go-to, and I really can't see myself ever running something that is like a contemporary piece. I can't really see myself doing that. I know a lot of writers who are fantastic at it, but I'm just not. I mean, my friends have a running joke that basically if my books don't have some sort of like portal of doom in them, that I'm not interested enough to keep going, and that is actually incredibly true. I have a thing for portals. So when, if assuming that you ever see my books in print, you will notice that there is a portal theme. Okay, third question, which is, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? Okay, well, I feel like this video is going to be really long because I keep rambling with every single question, so I'm going to keep this one quite short. and I'm going to say my favorite tense and point of view is third person limited and past tense. I just feel more comfortable using this point of view. It feels natural to me. I find it just doesn't, when I try to write it in first person and present, it just doesn't feel good to me. I think I could probably write a short piece of fiction in first person present tense, but for a whole novel, I need to settle into something I feel more comfortable in, and for me that is third person past. That's what I've used ever since I started writing, so that's what I'm more comfortable in. And like I said, third person limited. So what that means basically for me is that it's almost as close as first person. For me, when I'm writing in third person limited, you'll only know what the character knows, but also things like their thoughts will be incorporated into the actual narrative, and also the words and stuff like that are being used will be words that the character would use. So when I'm writing from my character Melody's point of view, my writing will be a lot more kind of formal, with a lot more kind of, she's Victorian, so it would be kind of more old-fashioned words. Proper, that's a better way to describe it. Proper words that she would use will be more kind of into the narrative voice, whereas if I'm writing from the point of view of my mailman character, Riot, there's definitely a sort of different style. His style is a lot more, less formal and less proper, and possibly more expressive than she is, because he's a lot more emotional than she is. Melody is very much a person that she's very quiet, not quiet, but she thinks before she does things, whereas Riot is completely emotionally driven. So I think that is reflected in their different. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of rambling. I said I wasn't. Okay. Next question, which is question for: are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? Which is obviously like a mixture between the two. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, personally, I'm a plotter. I didn't used to be. When I was younger, I used to just, write and see what happened, and that didn't really work for me so well. I didn't really tend to complete work very well. Now, when I say that I'm a plotter, I don't plot out every single action of every scene. I do plot out every scene, and basically the main things that are going to happen in that scene, but if I'm writing the scene, and the characters say they're having a conversation and they just throw a wild card in there and they just do something different, I am perfectly happy to see where that goes, and if it's better, especially if it like sort of sparks new ideas or new plot events, I will redo my plan. So I am a planner, and I'm quite a detailed planner, but my plans are not rigid. There are things that will have to happen in the story that I'm attached to, but it's not that I'm attached to the plan, it's that I'm attached to those scenes. And the most important thing is to get from one scene to another smoothly, and also thinking about structure and stuff like that. So, Question 5. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? Okay, well, I am yet to be published. I'm a little bit, at the minute, I'm not sure which route that I'm going to go with publishing. For a while, back when I started rewriting my book, when I started rewriting Melody, it was really, really with the idea that I was going to self-publish. I was so sure that that's what I wanted. And I've taken a lot of steps to learn about that, to learn about promotion and all that stuff. But the more I write, the more I'm unsure that that's actually what I want for this book. And this is not anything against people who choose to self-publish. I think it's amazing, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's an amazing achievement to, there's like a motorbike or something, but anyway. It's an amazing achievement to self-publish. But, I don't know, I feel like, for me, it's giving up on a dream a little bit, because ever since I was little, I think everybody relates to every writer. I mean, there's no writer that hasn't had this dream, so it's nothing unique to me or anything like that, but I always wanted to see my book in print, to see it on the bookshelves. And the fact is, with traditional publishing, that might not even happen, even if I did get published. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be successful. It doesn't mean that I'm going to see my book in W. Smith's or in Waterstones. It doesn't mean I'm going to be able to walk in and buy that. That might not happen. Question 6. If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? Okay, Well, would it be like a cop-out if I said that, honestly, I don't care. I'd love to be published by one of the big houses. Obviously, something like HarperCollins would be a dream come true. But honestly, if any company wanted to publish my book, assuming that they were reputable, assuming that they weren't a scam, I'd be like completely over the moon. I mean, it would be a dream come true. So okay, here it is. Question 7. 7? Yeah. Question 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? Okay, so I'm basically thinking that I'm gonna have tips and tricks, that sort of thing. I don't know if I'll be doing book reviews or anything. That's not really my thing. I'm not very good at reviews. I never really know what to say. It's like, hey, here's a book. I like the book. Also, it's backwards because of the camera. Anyway. So I think mostly what you'll find on my channel will be things like writing tips and tricks, and maybe some stuff about my actual book, about my journey in writing Melody. I'm halfway through the first draft right now, so I'll maybe do a video about first drafts at some point, and things like dialogue tips and things like that is probably what I will do. I might do some other videos just about issues that are important to me or things like that, but I don't know. Probably just I don't know why I rambled so much in answering this question, but okay. Question 8. When did you start writing? Okay, well that's not an easy question for me to answer, actually, because I can't remember not writing. I have notebooks, unfortunately nothing to hand actually to be able to show you, but I have notebooks from when I was about 4 or 5 years old of me writing, and I'd actually really have to find this to show you because it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like stickers. I've stuck these stickers on the book, and then I'm writing a little story about princess swans or something. I don't know, it's really weird, but I think that the first time that I actually tried to write a book, I was 11. I was in first year in high school, and my teacher had got us to do a part of creative writing, and instead of writing a short piece of writing like everybody else, I wrote the first chapter of my a book that was called Aliens, because that was my favorite movie when I was 11. Yes, Aliens, as in Get Away From Her, You Bitch, Aliens. And my book wasn't like alien fan fiction, but it was definitely very, very much inspired. I'd actually probably am going to do a video on this because I do have some of the writing somewhere. But yeah, so I was 11, and I worked in that book for the next 2 years. I spent almost all my free time writing, like by hand, A4 file sheets front and back. I think that book is possibly about 300 front and back file sheets, which is a lot for a kid, 11 and 12-year-old to write, but I was determined. And I remember I would bring it out in class and writing it because I was really, like, I was not popular in school, and I just didn't help myself by being the weird writer and her, carrying around her giant book. And I remember my classmates being very skeptical when I said that I was going to be published someday. Of course, I thought I was going to get that book published, which actually is going to happen. Okay, so I'm rambling again. I'm going to go on to the next question. Okay, oh shit, I've like answered the question. Okay, so, I've already answered the next question. The next question was, what was the first story you ever wrote? So, there you go. The first story that I ever wrote was Aliens, which I have to, like, just point out that it wasn't called Aliens for the entire length of, its lifespan. I actually changed the name to Phoenix Rising later because the ship in it, the spaceship, one of the spaceships, there's like 2 spaceships, but one of the spaceships was called the Phoenix. So I changed the title to Phoenix Rising when I got a little bit older and realized that I couldn't call the book Aliens because there's already a franchise called Aliens. So yeah, that was actually question 9. Okay, right, so question 10, I'm getting to the end of this eventually. You guys are probably like, oh my god, why is this video so long? I'm sure everybody else's videos are not this long. I'm really rambly. My writing isn't like this, I promise. I actually know how to be succinct. I'm not sure that's essentially how you say that word, but hey. Okay. What authors inspired your writing the most? Okay. What authors inspired my writing the most? Okay, well, I have a couple of different authors that influenced me, especially when I was a lot younger. I have to say that when I was young, one of my absolute favorite authors, and this is really before, I mean, I'm a lot older than, I'm old. So, I didn't start getting into YA with Twilight. I was a lot older when Twilight was released, and I actually, because I was a lot older, I feel, and because I already, read a bunch of stuff, and it wasn't really my thing. But I know for a lot of people that was kind of their gateway into YA. For me, it was actually the Night World series by L.J. Smith, which I read when I was, I'm not quite sure what age, I think I was maybe about 13 when I started to read them, and I absolutely loved them. I loved them. I loved her writing style at the time, and I loved her beautiful, beautiful characters, and I still have a thing for beautiful characters. I will admit my characters are very beautiful. I think it was Jen Morassi who said that, if you're going to make up characters and you're going to have to look at them in your head all the time, then it might as well be good looking, and I agree. So, I loved her books, and as I got older, I kind of realized that a lot of the time her stories are kind of the same story over and over again, but, as a young teen, she was definitely a major influence of mine, and I just devoured her books, and I still have all my old copies, and I still, when I see that they've been reprinted since the Vampire Diaries TV show was made, it kind of got a little bit more popular, and their stuff's being reprinted, and it really does, when I see it, it makes me feel kind of warm and fuzzy, because it reminds me of, like, simpler times. I'm just going to go on to the next question, which is, do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I'm definitely, I definitely just kind of do it whenever. I feel like if I ever, start to do stuff professionally, I'll probably have a better schedule. I mean, it's very strange, actually, because I write better in the mornings. So for me, I'm a lot more productive if I get up early and I just start writing. But the thing is, and this is what's weird, I hate mornings. I'm not a morning person. I'm definitely a night owl. If I'm off work, which I am now because it's the Christmas holidays, I'm likely to start staying up to like 3, 4 in the morning. It hasn't happened yet because I'm fighting it, and also because I'm an old lady and but yeah, I stay up really late. And I tend to sleep in, so it's very strange that my writing is more productive, the opposite to my preference for life, I guess. Okay, so number 12, do you type on the computer, the typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those, and where do you write in general? Okay, I definitely use a blend of all of those things. I like to write by hand, as I've already shown you in my notebooks. I carry notebooks with me basically wherever I go, and sometimes if I'm in work, if I'm on a break, or if I just have an idea for some dialogue, because that's how scenes tend to come to me. They tend to come to me in sort of snatches of dialogue, sometimes in the middle of a conversation, and I'll just start writing from that point, and then I'll start writing backwards until I sort of finish the scene. So, I carry my notebooks, and they have fantastic stuff, like, whenever I get stuck, it just says question mark. I'm sorry that this is backwards, I'm really gonna have to sort this camera out. Okay, so yeah, I also write on my laptop, this is my beautiful laptop, which I got recently because, my old laptop actually died during Nano, and then I borrowed a laptop from a friend so I could continue working on Nano, and that died as well. So my new laptop is a Lenovo a Lenovo IdeaPad, and I really love it because it's so simple. It's not very powerful, but it's just powerful enough for writing, which is what it's for, which is what I use it for. So I write on that. I also write on my desktop, although I do that less now because I'm just out of the habit of it. And also for Christmas, I already made a video on this, but here it is. I also got this, which is Alpha Smart 3000, and I'm really excited to use this because I feel like it's going to be perfect for me. It's going to be sort of a mixture between the writing by hand and writing on a laptop. So, you know, I feel like that's the perfect blend, and I'm really excited to actually reuse it properly. I used it earlier to type out some stuff that I'd already written, but I haven't actually just used it to just straight compose. So I'm very excited about doing that. Okay, what are you most looking forward to now that you're part of AuthorTube? Okay, alright, well, I think I might have said this at the start of the video, but I'm just going to say it again. The thing I'm most excited about is being part of a community, and also hopefully getting to know some people that I have admired on here for a while, watching their videos, and it would be nice to actually talk to those people and you know, swap writing or you know, just get involved in the community and help each other become stronger writers, because I am really excited about that. I'm completely rambling. I'm sorry if this end of this video is kind of gone all strange. It's like 11:30 here now, and I've been filming since about 8, I think, because I've never made a video before. I've said that already, but this is being quite difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think it could have gone worse. I think that this was a good experience, and I'm really surprised that my cats haven't come to get in the camera, which I'm totally expecting, and that's another thing on my channel. You may see videos about my cats. They won't be like to do with AuthorTube, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure that like Isis is anyway will get involved in my videos. Artie may as well. So okay, well thanks very much for watching this. If you got all the way to the end of this giant rambling video, I salute you. Please leave me a comment to let me know, and if you have any tips for how to make my videos better, you know, like by not rambling like I have done in this video, you know, that's probably a pretty good tip. But please let me know if you have any comments or questions, or you want to tell me that my video sucked. You can do that too. I mean, it'll hurt my feelings and I'll be very sad, but you can do that if you want to, if you're right. And if you want to see more content from me, I'm not sure why you would at this point, but if you do, please subscribe. That would really mean a lot to me. It would be nice to know that I'm actually making these videos for someone who wants to hear them rather than just me quacking in the dark. So, thank you very much, and bye! Did I say that I wrote YA? I can't remember if I said that. Okay, let's, I write YA. That's the thing.